Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Every time I do that, it cringes me out a little bit more each time, a little bit more. If you follow me on TikTok or like Instagram, you probably have heard so much about this men's cleanse I'm doing that like you're like, what's a men's cleanse, what's a men's cleanse, whatever. So I'm here to tell you, one, why I'm in a men's cleanse and like why I decided to do one. Number two, I'm going to just explain what it is. Let's start with why I began a men's cleanse. Okay, long story short, I was dating losers, and these weren't even just like normal losers. Like things were getting like wildly out of hand. Like for example, I've told the story of when I literally had just like man, and I'm not like that. Like I don't like to like like that, but I was in my like let's be a whore era, and I like fucked him and I rolled over and he was like, look at this baddie in my Instagram DMs, and I was like, that is like so disrespectful. And it's like, I feel like if I liked him or loved myself a little bit less, it would have really hurt my feelings. But it was like just disrespectful things like that were happening to me, and a man was calling me like a bitch. Like I wasn't answering him, and he was like, that's like a bitch ass move on your part. And I was like, okay, anyways. So it was like a mix of a lot of things where I was like, these men really just like don't respect me whatsoever, and I genuinely hate them. So like I should probably do this men's cleanse. And I feel like I was just giving my energy to men who like did not deserve it in any sort of way. And it was like, okay, for a bitch who preaches how much she loves herself, it's not showing through with the men I'm picking for like potential partners and like aspects in my life kind of thing. It's like I can say I love myself all I want, but if I'm picking losers to date, and like clearly I don't love myself enough. Like if I'm consistently dating a loser, that's on me. It's like, okay, what is the common denominator with all of these men? Like, what is the common denominator? Yeah, they're fucking assholes. I can't control people's actions. They're like weird as shit. But me, bitch, I'm picking them. I'm allowing them in my life. I'm allowing them to take my energy. I'm allowing them to talk to me. I was like, let's pull my energy back. Let's get back to the root of things. Number one, I want to figure out why the fuck I'm like picking these losers. Number two, I want to address the fact that I'm addicted to chaos. Number three, I just want to cleanse from these fucking losers. Like I say I don't want a loser, but then I'm picking a loser. Why? You know? And then number four, I really wanted to address like my emotional unavailability and why. And like I was dating out of like my ego, not my soul kind of thing, and that's a video for a whole different time. But I wanted to like address why I was so emotionally unavailable and what that was doing to me. So let's get into what a men's cleanse is. A men's cleanse is where I cut the roster. F these hoes, okay? You know what I mean? Like forget every single one of these hoes. I want nothing to do with them. And yeah, that's like basically what a men's cleanse is. So I am in no contact with any man. It's really peaceful. It's really nice. Like I'm just, and I know I need an end date for it, and I have an end date in my mind, but at the same time, like I'm not in a rush to date, because there is something so fucking peaceful with not dealing with a loser. Like there's just something so peaceful with having like the driest phone in the world. Is an adjustment, and it is a little bit boring at first, obviously, because I'm going from being like addicted to chaos, texting whack ass mother, like talking to whack ass mother, to then nothing. There's like a little bit of an adjustment period. We're headed into a month of my men's cleanse. Best thing I ever did for myself, love. Best thing I ever fucking did for myself, because I just normally, I feel like before I moved to New York, I wasn't dating really ever in Chicago because I knew I wanted to go to New York, and I like didn't want to start something and then like I'm not gonna do long distance with a bitch, like that's for sure kind of thing. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. And so I was like very focused on myself in Chicago, and I was just like, I feel like when I moved to New York, everything just got like so jumbled, and I was like dating losers, and like I just kept having these horrific scenarios happen to me, and it was like, okay, let's stop for a second. Let's stop. I have a big move coming to LA, coming up to like moving to LA soon. So I was like, I want to spend like the next 4 months focused on me, focused on work. I have a new project coming up, all these things. I don't want a weird man's energy in my field. Like I don't need it. Like I'm just like not interested in that. So let's get into like what I've learned this month on my men's cleanse. Okay, number one, I know exactly what I want moving forward when I decide to date. I feel like I was dating with no purpose whatsoever. I was just kind of like, you know, I was dating people who liked me, not necessarily who I liked. Like, I knew I would never want anything serious with these men, because I was like, I would just never, like, you're not someone I see in my life long term kind of thing. But then I'm like, falling for them because I'm giving them all my attention and I'm giving them my energy, and they obviously like me and they're taking me on dates for things. And it's like, okay, so I'm like consistently dating losers out of fear of even like opening up kind of thing, because it's like, oh, I just know I can never date them seriously, like I know I can never have them in my life long term kind of thing. So it's like, when you date someone like that with that intention in the back of your head, you're never gonna allow yourself to open up or get close to them. So I was doing a lot of that, and I was picking men that I knew I would never date long term, which happened to be losers. Okay, so I'm dating these losers, but then I'm falling for these losers, but then I'm like, oh, I could never date you kind of thing. So I was dating fully out of my ego and not like my soul, of like what my soul wanted kind of thing, which like my soul knows exactly what I want while dating, but my ego was like, no, fuck this, like I can't be in a serious relationship with these guys, I'm just gonna fuck around and have fun. But fucking around and having fun is giving men who don't deserve my energy. With that being said, backing it up, giving my energy to men who don't deserve it and like I knew were whack as was me being addicted to chaos. I felt like my life was super chaotic and I had no control over anything, but I did have control over my dating life. So I was going to date men I knew I would never get anything serious with them. Like I knew I would never date them seriously, and I was gonna bring them into my life, one, out of like fear of getting hurt, two, I'm addicted to the chaos, I'm addicted to the chase, I'm addicted to the loser like giving me all of his time, his energy kind of thing, and like controlling that situation. Like I'm a control freak in that sense. So that is another reason I'm dating a loser, addicted to the chaos. So when you remove all of that, I don't even know how I got on this tangent. Literally don't know where that came from. When you remove all of that, you're like, okay, there's just peace. Like there's absolutely nothing. Like I'm not talking to any of them. I literally have just been like, I blocked like my roster, and not gonna lie, fully blocked them. They're like, what did I do? You just existed. And I was like, I don't want to be bothered. And then I've just been, during this men's cleanse too, I guess I'm just gonna be rambling. I'm just all over the place. I've been fully just focus on myself. I know exactly what I want. I know, not even dating wise, like I said, yeah, now when I do date again, I'm dating with intention and I'm dating out of my soul and not my ego. So I'm gonna date people who I know I could date long term, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't fucking work out, and that's fine. But I need to date out of my soul instead of my ego, because my ego's picking losers just because I want control, if that makes any sense. Like just so I can control the entire situation. Where like if I date someone who I know I could see a long-term future with and things don't work out, I just think there's a fear of being hurt there. Wow, deep. I'm just like 30 times more focused on my goals and dreams, like of the things that I want to happen in my life. Like 5-year plan, she's written out, you know what I mean? Like I know exactly what I want and nothing's gonna get in the way of that. I've always kind of been like that, like, oh, I know my goals and dreams and absolutely nothing's gonna get in the way of that. But I wasn't acting like that, in the sense of like, how am I going to accomplish these big goals and dreams with these losers taking my energy? If you can't tell, like I'm really big on my energy. I just like feel when people take it, and it's just like nar love nar. So I'm just more focused on that, but I just want to really focus on that and give that like 135%, which I have been doing. Another thing I noticed with the men's cleanse, I am in no rush to date again, literally ever. Like I'm just really not in a rush to be with somebody, which is kind of scary because I feel like I'm getting a little too I do get really comfortable being alone, and I need to kind of like not do that. Like I have an end date in mind, which I'll tell you guys what it is. It's like February 1st, because that's when I move. That's my end date, because I know when I get comfortable in this, like I know I literally will just be like, oh, I don't want to date. Like I'm good, love, I'm good. I know like I really gotta end the men's cleanse on February 1st. And that doesn't mean like I'm never gonna go back on dating apps again. I think dating apps are just whack as shit, and like I don't want anything to do with them. And I say that now. Maybe that'll change. I like know that, but I do need to put an end to a men's cleanse. And I guess that'll just be me being like, okay, universe, I'm ready to date a good motherfucker. That doesn't mean a good one's gonna come in, but we can manifest. A bitch can manifest. That's another thing I've learned with the men's cleanse, is that I have to put an end date, because I'm too comfortable in being alone, and I'm like, oh, this is just so peaceful, which it is. And I mean, dating in general should be peaceful. If you're dating anyone it's not peaceful, that's a problem, love. It's a problem. Like I'm over just, yeah, like the standards for dating too that I have, I'll go into that in a different video, like they're up to here. And if you're not matching that, get the fuck out. Another thing with the men's cleanse, they will come back. The losers will come back, and they do come back, and I'm like, these are men that I have wanted to come back, and I'm like, oh my God, like I want him to come back, and then I'm like, oh, like why are you here? Like what are you doing here? Like it's just annoying now. It's so funny because I feel like there was a time that I was like, oh my God, like I can't believe he came back kind of thing. But then like he did come back, and I'm like, leave, you know, get it going. get the fuck out, bitch. I really need to stop swearing. And it's like, it's just like not exciting. It's like, okay, you came back and you gave absolutely nothing. You gave absolutely nothing, which you normally do every single time. You give absolutely nothing. So like, why? I don't even want you in my life. Like, get away. Get. Healing and peace can be boring. First of all, healing's painful. You know, like, I do feel like there's more healing that I've been doing in this time, obviously, and I'm just like, really forgiving myself for like the past 2 years of dating. Like, I'm really apologizing to the woman that I was back then for allowing any of those things to happen. And my tolerance is still up to here. Like, I don't accept shit from men, but even the little shit that I did accept, I'm like, I'm sorry that I allowed that to happen. Like, I'm sorry, old Livy, that I allowed that to happen, because like, that's just not, I never deserved that. And like, that's just whack as shit. Yeah, peace is boring. Like, peace, well, not really. Peace can be mistaken for boredom. Like, peace is quiet. Your phone is dry as shit. Like, it can be very fucking boring, okay? My DMs, they're boring. Like, it's not exciting, okay? And I just think getting comfortable with knowing peace can be boring is so important. Like, it's just like, or like, peace can be mistaken for boredom. I don't like to be like, peace is boring, but like, peace can be mistaken for boredom. So like, at first I'm like, God, I'm so fucking bored. And then I'm like, no, this is peace, babe. Like, this is peace, and I don't crave that chaos anymore. I don't want any of that. I'm okay with my peace. I'm okay with being in my peace, and like, we're good. So yeah, I just like recommend a men's cleanse in general. Like, if you're done with these like whack ass motherfuckers and like all they're doing is causing you stress, all they're doing is annoying the absolute shit out of you, take a men's cleanse. Take a couple months, take a year, take whatever it needs to like get away from these whack ass motherfuckers. Focus on you and like do what you need to do, okay? Like, have your goals and dreams written out. Know what those next steps are to achieve those goals and dreams, kind of thing. And like, don't let anybody get in the way of that ever. And it's like, I don't think the men that I was talking to before that were ever even getting in the way of my goals and dreams, but I didn't even want that to be a scenario. And I just kind of was over dating from my ego. And it took for me stepping back and like looking back at my dating patterns and like, oh, I was dating from my ego. I wasn't dating from my soul. Like, this is not healthy. And like, this is not going to attract the partner that I want in my life and that I need in my life, kind of thing. Like, the way I was doing things was not going to attract the right person. So it's really taking a step away, understanding your dating patterns and understanding what peace truly is, and not sacrificing that for anything. So that's a men's cleanse. That's why I'm on a men's cleanse. And that's that, loves. If you want more of me, you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You better fucking subscribe, bitch. And yeah, at she is Livy. All right, I love every single one of you. Get on a men's cleanse. You can DM me on Instagram all about it. I'd love to hear about it. But yeah.